Don't engage alone. We do this together.
Yeah! We got it! We got it! 52 books. Somebody clip this one.
Hello there.
The dark side is a path to many things. Some of them considered unnatural. So, I will do.
You messed it up! What are you doing?
Redo it.
I'm not redoing it. What's up, Najee? I'm not redoing it. You messed it up, Nick. What are you doing? Kinky.
I will do what I must.
You will wait. Okay. Turn off the lightsaber. Then say that. Watch. No.
I will.
Turn it off. Say I will do what I must. Turn it on, then I'll do mine. That's what it was in episode 3.
I will do what I must.
You will try. Ah!
Don't try it, Anakin! Don't try it!
I have the high ground.
You underestimate my power.
You are the chosen one! Instead, you bring balance to the Force, not leave it in darkness!
All right, so we're
You're
talking...
my brother, Anakin! I loved you!
What's up, Throth, Tavia, Najee, Orange Peel? Today we are discussing how we would fix Star Wars.
Okay. Now that we have proven that we are complete utter dorks that love Star Wars, I think now that all credibility has flown out the window.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right. So I want to get something out of the way real quick before we get started. We love Star Wars. So the first part, yeah, what we just did should tell you.
Yeah.
So the first part of this episode is going to be us just talking about how much we love Star Wars, what our favorite movies are and stuff. So Nick, I'll start with you. What do you love about Star Wars? And he's got his Darth Bane book right there. It's his Bible, everyone.
No, only the Bible. The Bible's my Bible, but these are still good books, mind you. So I love the expanding universe of Star Wars. Legends continuity is the only continuity, and I think I can just imagine the audience going, hell yeah, the best. Yeah, and so these are, I got the first and the third of the Darth Bane trilogy, which Darth Bane is the first person. He's the originator of the World of Two, and these are really good novels. Darth Bane himself is canon, by the way.
All right, Nick, I heard that in Legends continuity, he got the idea of the Rule of Two from Revan.
You, sir, are correct.
Yes! I know my Revan.
So what happened is Bane broke into a Revanite temple and stole a Darth Revan holocron, and that's where he got it. Also,
okay,
I have literally the first Star Wars novel ever published.
Oh, nice.
Splinter of the Mind's Eye. I love the story of this book. I mean, the story of how it was written. So George Lucas didn't know Star Wars was going to be a success. So he wanted a cheap and dirty sequel. So he commissioned Alan Dean Foster, who, justice for Alan Dean Foster, because Disney is currently trying to screw him over. He wrote this as a sequel to Star Wars. And man, oh man, is this alternate history. Luke and Leia actually have a romance subplot in this.
It sounds like it would be written by Bruce Timm.
Why did I know you were going to go there?
You set me up so well for that, Nick.
Yeah, you did, Nick. I'm sorry. You set
as soon as the words exited in my mouth, it's like, he's going to mention Bruce Timm. He's going to, like, yeah, he mentioned Bruce Timm.
Tevia brings up, here's my solution to fix Star Wars. Ignore the sequel trilogy ever happened. Just have Kyle Katarn come back. We'll discuss that. I'm a member
Oh,
of the
speaking of Cal Katarn, wait till you hear my stuff later.
I'm a member of the 501st. I admit to loving Star Wars almost as much as Star Trek. So you're a member of the Emperor's Fist. Well done.
No, it's Vader's fist. The 501st is Vader's.
Oh, yeah.
personal- Dude, I thought you loved Star Wars.
I thought the worst part is I'm a nerd for the 501st. I thought nothing could be worse than the 78 Christmas special. I was wrong. I'm open to everything good.
What? You don't like really bad cooking specials?
Well, you don't like. I wish I could put my fist through this town. The boys in blue, baby. So let's So, all right. So I guess I'll go next. I've been a Star Wars fan since the prequels. I was a prequels guy, and I'll admit, after studying more film and watching more movies, they're not the best. Absolutely not. The dialogue is a little. The only one that has, I would say, good dialogue is 3. That's it.
I mean, 3 is by far the most quoted.
3 is the best of the prequel movies.
But it does have some really bad dialogue. From my point of view, the Jedi evil.
Well, now you are lost.
Like, oh my god! I brought peace and security to my new empire.
Your new empire. See, this is our point. I was a 1977 drive-in theater opening weekend fan. Oh, that's dope. So I saw that. What really made me fall in love with Star Wars was the Clone Wars animated show. I saw the movie in theaters, by the way, and when I saw the reason why I like that is because here's the thing about me with Star Wars. I like the characters that can't use the Force more, because when you use the Force, that becomes...
anyone can use the Force.
We'll talk about that later. But because, and to that point, Nick, I think the Force is a bit of a crutch, because they're like, okay, use the Force, Luke. And then the whole world.
That's not how the Force works.
I need that. I need that drop. That was the one good line. That was the one good. I was born in 91, so I didn't see Star Wars in theaters when the original trilogy out. But and then what was dope? I played the Force Unleashed games. Ooh. Oh boy, were those badass!
Well, watch out, we got a badass over here.
Oh my gosh! Particularly when you get the Ultimate Seth Edition and you can play as all those skins that you can essentially Clone Wars your guy.
Or the levels you can play, like the original trilogy. Like, how cool is it where you're in Echo Base and you're facing up against Luke and he goes dark side midway through the fight?
Well, yeah, because here's the funny part about that. The dark side ending is you kill Darth Vader. So, of course, it's going to be you leading the 501st. That's the first thing again. And yeah, that's cool. And you can kill Boba Fett. Some would say better than giving him his own show, but that's besides the point. But yeah, and so here's the problem with Dave Filoni. He basically showed up to the set of Boba Fett and dropped the ball like a panther.
When even Tamara Morrison is like, hey guys, can we not take my helmet off so often?
There are only 6 Star Wars movies. Exactly. So Teladia,
there are 7. There are 7. Somehow Disney got the rights to do a single Star Wars movie and they made Rogue One.
I still think Solo is good. But all right.
Take away his nerd card.
Teladia, your thoughts on Star Wars, why you like Star Wars?
So I like Star Wars because, like any sci-fi film, like Star Wars basically brought in the nerdiness out of me, right? When you're like the lightsaber fights and the duels, and especially like if you're, because I grew up around the 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I started watching the Star Wars films, because I remember I got Revenge of the Sith, Attack of the Clones, and Phantom Menace on DVD. So I remember those, and I was just like, yes.
Teladia, I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
What's your opinion on sand?
I hate sand.
Any other thoughts?
Keep going. Please tell me you remember the line, or I will do it for you.
You can do it for me.
I hate sand. It's rough and it's coarse and irritating, and it gets everywhere. See, everywhere here is soft and smooth, and he caresses her shoulder like a stalker.
Like, also, like, my favorite scene, I'm sorry, but, like, one of my favorite scenes of Attack of the Clones is when, like, they're in the den, and she's wearing, like, the most, like, F me gown ever.
Yeah,
And he's like, I want to be with you. No, you can't. It's like, and you have, like,
why are you
like,
wearing that gown?
the lighting is low, you got the fire going, it's like the most romantic setting ever. It's like, George, stop.
But so Nick, you said you wanted to share your origin for Star Wars.
All right, so my first encounter with Star Wars, I kind of knew about it. My dad was an Uber dork. I think I had some people come over to babysit me for a weekend. I said, like, I want to watch Star Wars. So my parents dug out some VHS tapes.
Oh man! I was gonna say, I was gonna make an old joke, but I realized, oh yeah, I remember VHS tapes as well.
Well, speaking of VHS tapes, sorry, I just remembered I had this.
Oh, you nerd! Okay, you know what? What? Nice.
This is the original cut, by the way. So.
Oh wow, that was the cringe dialogue.
Anyway, so they had a recording of, I guess, Sci-Fi in like the early 90s, did like a marathon of the 3 Star Wars films hosted by Carrie Fisher. And that's how I first watched Star Wars. And when they did the special editions in the mid 90s, my grandparents took me to see episode 4 in theaters. Oh, yeah. It's got like a, I get what you're saying. So yeah, I saw episode, like the special edition in theaters. That was about 96, 97, I think. And when Phantom Menace came out, my dad did actually take me to see it in 1999 because I'm the old fart of this group. So,
by the way, how much of a mind f is that when Darth Maul whips out the double-bladed lightsaber? That is nuts.
The thing is, it was kind of spoiled by the trailer, so like watching the movie, it wasn't as big a surprise because like it was literally the focal point. Like literally, I think the trailer opens up with the double-bladed lightsabers.
Okay. With me, my biggest like, oh my gosh moment is when General Grievous ignites the 4 lightsabers, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so cool.
Yeah. I know for me, growing up, the biggest like oh my god moment was Yoda fighting. Like I remember, I was fully in middle school at the time. I think it was like 8th grade when Attack of the Clones came out, and me and my friends were talking about that for weeks about Yoda. Like Yoda fought, lightsaber. Like it was just like the coolest thing ever.
And Tevye brings up a good point. Republic Commando. That game was the one I played the most besides KOTOR because that was Halo, but Star Wars. That's pretty much what it is.
I mean, for me, my childhood Star Wars games and stuff like Star Wars Dark Forces, which is like Star Wars Doom. Stuff like I
also played Jedi Academy. That was the first Star Wars game I actually beat, as a matter of fact.
That's a really good one. I actually played like the Super Star Wars trilogy on the Super Nintendo. I'm sure I just like to remember some people, but he also got stuff like Rogue Squadron.
And Ian knows where it's at.
I gotta say, like the N64 was like a Star Wars machine because like it had so many good stuff like the Rogue Squadron series, and then the next generation after that you had even better ones like Jedi Academy, Jedi Outcast, Battlefront.
I'm Han Solo.
No, but that's not till next generation.
I had to bring that up just to screw with you. What's up, Teladia?
For me, like gaming wise, like I obviously played the movie tie-in games.
Episode 3 turns into an Injustice game when the multiplayer. That's what the multiplayer is.
No, it's not only
the episode 3 game. It's like they did not need to go that hard, but we thank them for it.
Yeah.
And then obviously they bring in the Force Unleashed. Star Wars, the Force, I think it's Unleashed.
Force Unleashed, otherwise known as God of War, but Star Wars.
Yeah.
Oh,
that was a great game.
Who here has played Soul Calibur 4?
Is that the one where you can play as Darth Vader and Yoda?
And Starkiller.
Yes. See, Yeah, and obviously we got SWOTOR because that game.
Also,
yeah.
Before we talk about SWOTOR, I did want to give some love to Star Wars Galaxies. The one that came before it, like that really like set the bar really high. I just want to give that a little love before we start talking about SWOTOR.
And SWOTOR was like one of those games that was like, wait, where is it? Okay, SWOTOR was one of those games where you think you're making your own Star Wars character, and the genius of this game is, first off, it's the closest you can get to doing whatever the hell you want, and then you keep hearing throughout the entire game how much of an evil SOB Darth Revan is throughout the entire game. Then all of a sudden they tell you in the mid through the game, actually, you're Darth Revan.
That scene where he takes off the helmet is rather iconic.
I wish we would have gotten the ability to wear the Revan armor.
Actually, you can. At the end of the game, I think when you're in the factory, what's the whatever it's called,
Starforge.
Yeah, there's actually like a little place where you can kind of make armor. You actually make the Revan armor.
No, but I mean, so I can wear. I wish I could carry that to another save. I wish it didn't take to the end of the game for me to get that. And I'm not talking about mods, but there was that. Obviously, Force Unleashed, but Battlefront. Battlefront was like my first shooter game. That was like my first T-rated game, and that was my favorite game until Halo. It was like that, Halo, and then I'm like, you know what, I'm good, because you could fly in spaceships, you could fight on Hoth, and then when I imported it to the Xbox One, for some reason it gave me bonus characters, like I could play as Kit Fisto and Ventress. Like I was like, okay, well this is interesting. Halo was epic though. Lord Throth, you are my dude. You know what? You are getting this right now.
Amazing. I mean, okay, so we talked about actually say something, Jared. I gotta send you a message. I want to keep,
Yeah, so essentially that's like my Star Wars like gaming, and like I didn't really read that many Star Wars books, but it was mainly just me just like watching the movie shows and hitting YouTube hard really to understand the idea, the like lore. But all right, so then I mean we could talk about before we get into like others to like where Star Wars went wrong. Now we're gonna show off some Star Wars merch. So yes.
No, wait. Do you have the clip, Jared?
No, I don't. I told you. All
right, then I'll reenact it for you. Merchandising, where the real money from the movie is made.
So my parents went to Disney for, on a trip. I was working, so I couldn't go, and they brought me back Luke's lightsaber from Galaxy's Edge. So I was I'll take that.
Didn't they have Anakin's?
They did, but Luke's lightsaber from Episode 6 is one of my favorites too. So it was like, okay, I'll take this.
You do realize Luke's lightsaber is basically just Obi-Wan's lightsaber, right?
Yeah, I know. And then I got a Black Series Darth Revan because Revan is my absolute favorite Star Wars character.
That's a Darth Vader lightsaber.
That's he's
not only Vader. Is this a Darth Vader lightsaber? This is a master replica Darth Vader lightsaber. Like this is actually metal right here. The thing is heavy.
Where's my nerd clip? I don't have that one. But
nerd.
I have a Black Series Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And Black Series Bo-Katan.
Does that mean weapons are part of your religion?
Yes, it is. And then one more. I have this dope thing. I have a Mandalorian bust.
This is the way.
This is the way. Thank you. Anyway, so Nick, do you have any other Star Wars merch you want to show off?
If I thought about it, like I have tons more. Like I actually have vintage Star Wars figures, but I didn't think to bust them out before we did this thing. I should have, but
yeah, but it's like I have other stuff, but that's just the stuff that I want to bring out right now.
But yeah, can we kind of talk about the music for a second? Like just how friggin' iconic that like. Okay, so what is your guys'
Nice.
favorite Star Wars tune? Like, just
Mine
if it's-
is the
pick one.
Anakin Skywalker versus Obi-Wan Kenobi fight from Episode 3.
So Battle of the Heroes is your
The
favorite.
dun
Mine,
dun 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 dun.
mine is Duel of the Fates.
Dun, dun, dun. Did you see someone on YouTube put like lyrics to it? And they said,
Oh my god.
yarn, lots of yarn. What's your favorite Star Wars theme, Teladia?
What's it called? The Episode 3, Obi-Wan and
Battle of the Heroes.
Battle of
Yeah.
the Heroes. By the way, so fun fact, I went to a concert a little while back where they played the Star Wars soundtracks for the movies. Live
Did they have an
orchestra.
actual choir to do the
I think they did, and the Master of Ceremonies was C-3PO, the actor who played C-3PO.
Oh,
And then beforehand, you could walk around the stadium before the show started, and they had like the actual suits and everything on display.
have you guys ever seen like an orchestra play the themes and you see two lightsabers going at it on stage? Have you seen that on
Oh.
YouTube?
I need to share one of my favorite memories. So, a while back, I was at a Breaking Benjamin concert. Yes, you know them. And they actually did play that song. It was pretty awesome. But they were doing like this cover section, and so all of a sudden you hear a do like Imperial March, and then Ben Burlow, and this was before Force Awakens came out. It was like this December, like he was kind of hyping up the crowd, and all of a sudden, once they get the like he actually busted out a lightsaber, and like,
That's
it was
awesome.
so great.
In Imperial March, you have great taste. I mean, Lord Thoth, you have great taste in music. So that's where we stand. By Teladia, do you have any Star Wars merch to show off?
No, I don't have any Star Wars.
So
All
you
right,
want to
all
know?
right.
You want to know just how much of a nerd I am? So any woman who wants to marry me will have two conditions for the wedding.
Oh boy.
And these are non-negotiable. Our first dance has to be to Across the Stars, Anakin and Padme scene, which I think is just beautiful. And you know, like where they introduce like the bride and groom and like the wedding party at the reception. That is to be set to the throne room theme from episode 4. You know, you know that.
Yeah.
Mine is going to be
Now you may play the nerd clip.
I don't have it on here.
Oh.
Well, everyone has their small request. I'm going to tell my wife, can you dress as Wonder Woman? Hey, what's up, Jay Heat?
Oh,
So-
don't let
so-
him say. Don't let him say it,
Oh.
Jared.
Lord Thoth, he got it for us. Thank you.
Jared, don't let.
I'm
Jay
just gonna
Heat
tell
say
the
it.
future wife the mask stays on. So
Mm-hmm.
If you let Jay Heat say it in the chat, oh my god, your face will drop again.
No. He said, I suckered my wife into my jockiness as a hockey player. Then I said, oh, by the way, I love these nerd stuff. That's good. You tricked her. I like that.
see, Lord Thoth, he was like, "Surprise, mother ducker!"
Yeah, exactly. He walks into the room. By the way, so welcome home, honey. Oh yeah, I have to show you something. He leads her into his bat cave.
It's like, so I have a room of particular interest. Oh, you mean like Xbox?
Yeah, that was a meme, by the way, for 50 Shades, where it's Christian Grey, and he goes, "I have a room, and I have very specific tastes." And it's like they open the room, it's loaded with guns,
Or literally anything.
or anything really. With me, it would be Superman and Wonder Woman merch. But
All right,
yeah,
let me do some googling.
So now we're gonna get to where Star Wars went wrong.
I think we know where they went wrong.
Disney.
The thing about where it went wrong, not necessarily Disney though, because we did get Rogue One out of the deal. So that wasn't necessary. It was all right. I think where it went wrong was bringing Rian Johnson into Star Wars. Because here's the thing. You had a direction with Episode 7, even though it was a shot-for-shot remake of Episode 4. But you at least had some stuff set up. Then Johnson came in and said, "No, I'm going to ignore all that stuff."
Actually, in my opinion, I blame Jar Jar Binks, aka Jar Jar Abrams.
Oh, fun fact about Jar Jar Binks. Did you know that Michael Jackson campaigned to star as Jar Jar Binks?
Oh boy!
Like, there's a story that Ahmed Best tells, the actor for Jar Jar, where him and George went to a Michael Jackson concert, and they actually met Michael after the concert. Like, Michael was really cold to him, and he asked George why. He's like, "Oh yeah, he wanted the role. That's why he doesn't like you."
That's great. I love that. But I mean, that's the reason why I say that the reason why I say it was with episode 8 is because here's the thing. And this is going to sound a lot like a certain other company we talk about on this channel a lot. When they give the reins to a director, let them make one movie and then freak out and then take those reins away and give it to another director, that never works out.
Yeah.
That's my one Zack Snyder reference for the show. There you go. But that was my point there. It's like what they did is they, from a creative standpoint, they let Jar Jar, for JJ, now I'm doing it, set up a trilogy. Because when you look at some of his other plans for the sequel trilogy,
Jar Jar Abrams.
If you look at Abrams' plans for the trilogy going forward, it actually doesn't sound that bad. It's just they screwed it up royally and with episode 8 for some reason, and it's really annoying. So Nick, I'll start with you. Where do you think they went wrong?
Well, first off, check Twitter. Check the group chat on Twitter. I sent you something. Famous last words. But yeah. Please share it.
No, I can't. I can't share the type of humor on here. But go on.
All right. I just think. Well, first off, they chased an audience that wasn't there, and they pay the price for it.
Yeah, every company does that.
The thing you got to remember, like, I know we put a lot of the problem on Kathleen Kennedy, and she was responsible for a lot of it, but you also got to remember, George Lucas appointed her as his successor before this thing ever happened.
Yeah.
And yes, Kathleen Kennedy did betray him because the intention was to carry on his legacy, to be his advocate, and that just went out the window.
But Nick, also, haven't you heard the Force is female?
No, it isn't.
No. I love it. Immediately, no, it isn't.
The Force. Okay. I gotta. You talk while I look up.
Well, if anything, if you want to be progressive, the Force is genderless.
The Force is what gives a Jedi his power. It's an energy field created by all living things.
All right, Qui-Gon Jinn.
I'm not done yet. It surrounds us and penetrates us. It binds a galaxy together. By the way, that was Obi-Wan from episode 4, so shut the F up.
But they said the same thing in episode 1. But anyway, yeah, I mean, because what people have to should understand is that she was involved in like most Lucasfilm movies.
Well, she was more of a Spielberg. She was a Spielberg person. So like, the only time she was really involved with Lucas was when it involved Spielberg. She was Spielberg's personal producer. So you got to remember that. So like, she was kind of involved with Star Wars, but she was Spielberg's person.
Yeah, and by the way, Orange Peel brings up a good point because Rian Johnson insulting Mark Hamill live on stage was so cool. He did that?
I would not be surprised.
Yeah, I've never seen a professional director act like such a child. Yeah, well, the problem with Rian Johnson is he is open about this. He said when he was writing the script, he looked at the theories that people had after 7 and were like, no, I'm going to like undo all this because I don't want to subvert expectations.
So okay, I'm sorry. I whenever I hear that word, I get a bit triggered. But I'm going to say something a bit against the grain here. I feel like if I had to choose between Force Awakens and Return of the Last Jedi, I would choose Last Jedi, because the problem with Force Awakens is there are no original ideas. Last Jedi, it at least tried something new. It failed. I still think the film, like the movie itself, looks gorgeous. Like there are like a lot of really good shots. But largely the film is a failure. Like it is vastly a failure. But at least it tried something. At least it tried to push things forward. Both movies are terrible.
Yeah, it's just there's too much. The problem with, and I agree with you, Nick. The movie looks pretty. It's just there's too much logic, like inconsistencies. Like, why are you doing a bombing run in space by like dropping the bombs from big carriers?
Like okay, so here's my ratings for the three films. I'm gonna go in backwards order. Rise of Skywalker is a 0 out of 0. Okay, there is nothing redeemed about that movie. Last Jedi, and this is out of 5, by the way, is a 0.75. Force Awakens is 0.25, maybe 0.5. So these are all really bad films. But in my opinion, The Last Jedi is like the least worst. I don't know if I'm saying
Tevia asked, question, how would you guys fix The Last Jedi? Oh boy, we'll get to that in a second, but when we get to the actual fixing part of the episode, the thing, and to Teladia, let me ask you, where do you, or maybe you already answered this, but where do you think they went wrong with Star Wars?
I think J.J. Abrams, when he came into the fold and didn't set up a plan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you got to think about it, right? If you're making a plan, you got to make sure it sticks in its continuity. Like Zack Snyder's the blueprint, as we always keep on saying on every.
And that's our second obligatory Zack Snyder reference. But isn't J.J. Abrams the guy that's known to like change his plan at the last second or like not follow through?
J.J. Abrams is basically the mystery box guy, and the problem with him is he poses questions that he never intends to answer. For him, it's more about asking the question rather than answering it. Like anyone who's ever like gone through Lost knows exactly what I'm talking about. And, you know, and that's the problem with J.J. Abrams is he's a mediocre director at best. Like Force Awakens, from like as a movie is it's fine. It's probably the only, like, as much hate as I put on Force Awakens, it's the only one that's actually semi-watchable.
Yeah, that's the only one of the sequel trilogy I would actually watch, probably because I like Episode 4 so much.
see, my biggest thing is I love the idea of Kylo Ren. I love like the whole unfinished gem, burden of legacy. Like I think the idea of Kylo Ren's character is fascinating, and under better hands could have been like a really good idea for the trilogy. The also thing you gotta realize about the sequel trilogy, it's basically ripping off the Legends universe. It's basically doing the Legacy of the Force storyline. You basically have Han and Leia's kids, Jason and Jaina, which are twins. Jason goes to the dark side, becomes Darth Caedus, and Jaina has to face her brother to save him. It's a very, yes, it's a very like
truncated version of it.
Truncated and maybe surface level, but it's very clear that, you know, these ideas are too specific. Even in a very watered down generic form, you know where you got them from.
True. Yeah, I agree with you on that. It's the problem with Disney, and where I think they ticked off a lot of Star Wars fans from the get-go before they even released anything, is that they came in and they wiped all of Legends canon from canon immediately. And they're like, wait a second, so now all this stuff doesn't matter? You could have just made movies about all this stuff.
Well, the problem is so other, like, for example, Star Trek handles the expanding universe very well. There is Alpha Canon, which is like the movie, the TV show, and there's Beta Canon, which is all the extended universe stuff. Star Wars, while George Lucas has said stuff like that, it's never been like officially designated. You know what I'm saying? There's never really been like we've always led to, and plus, because like Star Wars, the extended universe has always been 100 years in the future, 3,000 years, or like, oh, there's this little like 2 weeks where where these characters don't exist. Let's put a story in there. Like they always put it like Like the Legends continuity was always good about filling in like the blanks. They never tried to, but I mean, there were contradictions. Like, okay, you want to know how much of a nerd I was? So I was like a young kid. I was in the theater watching Attack of the Clones, and when the Genosians unveiled their plans for the Death Star, I literally shouted out, "Plot hole!" Like, even now, like you can tell, I'm cringing because
Orange Peel brings up a good point. They had a built-in fan base.
No, but I need to explain the plot.
Yeah, go ahead.
So in the Jedi Academy trilogy, it's revealed that Grand Moff Tarkin had a think tank of like these really smart people, and this one lady is the one who designed the Death Star, and so like she's the one who built like the Death Star and whatnot. So
wait,
like
they even contradicted in Rogue One because it's the main girl's father who designed the Death Star as well. I think he was part of the think tank. No, but I'm saying it contradicts Episode 2 as well.
If I were to speculate, I think the Genosians had the initial design, but it was they still had to finish it. I think it was like an early draft kind of thing.
They had the rough sketch. What Moff's think tank did is they ironed out all the details.
Well, no. I'm trying to reconcile Rogue One and then
okay.
Because you got to remember, this Death Star is a station the size of a small moon. There's a lot of moving parts in that thing, so I can see like the Genosians whipped up a plan, but it took the Empire 20 years, to kind of get it to work.
And then they had to rebuild it.
Well, here's the thing: they should have just hired Tony Stark, because Tony Stark built this in a cave with a bunch of scraps.
All right, and the other thing is, all right, now I have enjoyed the Ahsoka show for one reason.
Snips.
Everyone is giving Hayden Christensen the respect he deserves.
Yeah.
He's getting back into acting. He signed on with an acting agency, and the dude was freaking crying when he showed up to Star Wars Celebration. Everyone was cheering him on because remember, for years we heard he's a whiny brat in Star Wars. Now everyone's like, he just needed a good script. For some reason, that took people years to figure out.
Well, the thing is, you realize he married Rachel McAdams, right?
Mm.
And they have like a farm, and they're raising their children on it. So he's kind of been doing his own thing. But yeah, I hope to see him in more films. Honestly,
I think he'd be a great DC character. But we'll talk about that later.
Another day, yeah.
Another stream, yeah. But
wait, real quick, who would you put Hayden Christensen as in the DC universe?
Again, I said future stream, but the other problem with the sequel trilogy is that they tried to force in Snoke, and the thing is, they had an opportunity with Snoke. They could have done something really cool, but then they were like, "No, it's a clone of Palpatine." What?
All right. Here, okay. I got to cook here. This is what pisses me off most about the Disney Star Wars Rise of Skywalker. So it's been revealed that the Emperor that Darth Vader killed in Return of the Jedi was just another clone. So literally, they basically invalidated the entire ending of Return of the Jedi for what?
Wait. They said the one in Return of the Jedi was a clone?
I think some director said it or something, but like it has like that's the only way it makes sense. Like how else did Palpatine return?
They should have really just gone with the way it was in Legends, where he became a spirit that could inhabit people's body. Mm-hmm. That would have been the better way to do it because it's with the Force. But what do you want to say, Teladia?
Or what he did in Battlefront 2, where he was in a mechanical body.
Well, that wasn't him. It was essentially a video message delivery thing.
It was basically a very intelligent voicemail.
But
still, it would be cool to have a mechanical body, that type of thing.
I think that's stretching things. I think that's stretching.
That turns him into General Grievous, though. That's the problem.
But wouldn't you
And-
wouldn't you
I
love
want
to see
Palpatine to
that?
be stay dead. That's what I want.
Yeah, he
Because-
should stay dead.
Because the whole point of the ending of Return of the Jedi is Darth Vader redeems himself by killing Palpatine. That's literally because Vader was the one who was supposed to set balance to the Force by killing both Vader, by killing both himself and Palpatine. He does that. So Anakin does fulfill his prophecy to bring balance to the Force, just from a certain point of view.
Tubular Tommy says Ryan Johnson selfishly wrote The Last Jedi as an ending, knowing JJ had to take over a mess. Yeah, I know. Major
you do realize Colin Trevorrow was supposed to do like. Do you got like? I know. Have you guys ever read Colin Trevorrow's script for the episode 3? I don't know if I haven't heard it myself, but I know it's out there.
I haven't. Orange Peel says Theater of the Absurd, Plan 9 from Outer Space made more sense, and that's free on YouTube. Yeah. And Nick, to Teladia agrees with you don't need Palpatine returning because the whole point of episode 6, it's that you finally defeat this big bad guy that's been dogging you for years.
Also, I just want to say the one good thing about Rise of Skywalker is now whenever I have a fellow writer friend who's feeling bad about the writing, I can just remind them. Remember, someone got paid millions of dollars to write the line, somehow Palpatine returned. If they can get paid millions of dollars to write that line,
I got a story
you're
for you,
good.
gents. I was
Right.
watching all the Star Wars movies with my dad. We get to episode 6.
Oh
And
my
Vader
God.
throws him down the shaft. My dad turns to me without skipping a beat, goes, and somehow Palpatine returned.
Burst!
I was like, that is the best ever.
Jared, can you pass along a message to your father? I think he is unfathomably based.
Thank you.
Please tell him that. Tell
I
him what
will. The best option would be to have Ren could have been the final villain. Or how about do the story that they were clearly setting up in 7, making Finn a Jedi? Because can you imagine how cool it would be? A stormtrooper becomes a Jedi.
Do you guys know what the original plans were for it? Where it's basically Rey and Kylo were like Jedis at the Academy, and like they differ, like basically their paths diverge, kind of thing. Like I don't know, like
Don't encourage the Raylos, Nick.
Also, like I will say, the one thing I agree with on Last Jedi is making Rey nobody, because like it was kind of a rejection of like the whole sacred bloodline, which is kind of it's a bad kind of story trope that Star Wars seems to be obsessed with, and I feel like making her nothing actually is actually a good thing, and then they made her a Palpatine, basically just
Invalidate. But the problem with that, Nick, the reason my issue with that in episode 8 is that yes, I agree with you. That makes sense. It's just they set it up in 7 that she was going to be the descendant of this great of like one of the original characters, and then they were like, nah. They literally did what Luke did to his lightsaber.
Actually, here's an interesting way they could have done it. What if he was a Kenobi?
That's what
Okay.
I thought.
Okay, the theory that I just cooked up has probably been done elsewhere and better, I imagine. So basically, during the Clone Wars, it is revealed that Satine had a child, and she gave it birth in secret because she didn't want Obi-Wan to get into trouble. And then she's the granddaughter of Obi-Wan because of the time frame. I think that
So
'cause-
the theory, by the way, is that kid shows up in Clone Wars. Because remember, Satine has that I think son or nephew at one point, and he looks like Obi-Wan.
I think I think this kind of causes a bunch of problems, but
I know that makes sense. But now we're 44 minutes in. I want to transition to how we fix Star Wars. Now, hang on.
all right.
Wait. When I first proposed this topic, Nick told me that he had an entire sequel trilogy planned. So you know what, Nick? We'll just start with Teladia. I'm only kidding. We're going to start with you. Go ahead.
All right. So before I go into like this wild space of ideas, I just want to share what they could like more realistic scenario. Have JJ do all three. Okay? Because the biggest problem is with the Star Wars trilogy is, unlike the Cylons, they didn't have a plan.
So they're like Warner Brothers in that way.
Pretty much.
We're mentioning Zack Snyder through Star Wars, probably because of Rebel Moon, but go on.
If JJ had done the entire trilogy, it still probably would have been good, but I think it would have at least been up to the sequels, the prequels of quality, maybe a little bit less. It would have told us a somewhat coherent story. It would have been mid at best, but it would have been a ton better than what we've got. But if you allow me to use the Reality Stone and make things whatever I want, okay.
But I just want to say one thing. You know your sequel trilogy is bad when it makes Star Wars fans go, maybe the prequels weren't that bad.
I mean, we're gonna see the same thing happen with the new DC movies if you watch.
Mm-hmm. But
I'm literally calling that right now. So please, if I'm wrong or right, let's
clip this and then we'll play it as soon as the James Gunn DC movies start coming out. But anyway, so go on.
So anyway, so this trilogy is basically something that can be made now. Like I'm doing it with that intention. All right. 2 words: Jedi Academy. Okay. So I'm basically I'm pulling from both the novels and the video games. All right. So what you have is you basically have like you're doing your stuff like the first act. You find Finn, who comes back to the Jedi Academy. He's being trained, and you got like the 2-star pupils. All right. You have Jason Solo. Okay. And then you also have Rey, whatever,
Skywalker.
No, basically what you have with her is she's the one who just showed up at the temple one day. She's kind of an amnesiac, you don't know what's going on with her. Okay, and Kylo and not, but he's kind of like the so yeah, it kind of goes off from there and. Basically, Snoke is an opportunist. He's basically another Sith Lord, but the secret is he could have been Palpatine's apprentice, but he was passed up for Maul.
I like that. That's a good idea.
So he's not a Sith, but he is a dark side user, and it's a lot of he's kind of got like a more immature out of spite kind of thing.
That works.
Yeah, and so it kind of goes from there where Jason is still gonna look like basically I'm just combining Jedi Academy, Legacy of the Force, and like the Jedi Academy video games, all messing it together. And then you have Mark Hamill there. Cal Katarn is gonna be there.
Mm-hmm.
Cal Katarn is played by Timothy Oliphant, I think.
Yeah, he was good. I could see that. I after seeing him in Mando, I could definitely see him playing Cal Katarn.
Yeah, I mean, I'm no Jedi. I'm just a guy with a lightsaber and a few questions.
I like that. That's funny.
I had that tab pulled up for a while, so
there you go. But Tevia asks, why not have Rey be a former student of Luke?
I mean, in this version, she is, but I don't know, some mystery, like, hey, who is she? Whatever. But basically, your triangle is Finn, Rey, and Kylo. Also, Poe does not exist in this storyline.
Take that, shippers!
You gotta play that clip. You gotta play the clip.
Okay. I gotta play this clip real quick. This I'm making an executive decision. Pretend this is Star Wars.
Batman doesn't do ships.
Actually, so basically the first act is they find both Rey and Finn who was a former stormtrooper, come to the academy. And towards the end of the second movie, Jason turns to the dark side, and Rey actually joins him. So you're basically, instead of like the Jaina having to go against her brother, basically Finn is taking the Jaina role in this one, where he has to face his friend. Where it's not like Rey doesn't have any romantic feelings for him, but the romantic feelings are between like Finn and Rey, kind of thing. With Jason, he's more just like wants the power.
Okay, I can see that. I like that. It's very extensive.
Also in this fan fiction, she has amnesia, so she calls herself Ray Kennedy.
I thought you were gonna say Ray Palpatine, and I'd be like, okay, print it.
No, do you realize what I did there?
No, I know, but you can't do that because Kennedy doesn't sound like a Star Wars name.
I mean, I could always call her Kathleen Johnson.
Except that's already a character in Screecher, so you can't do that. There you go. It should have been Luke leading Padawans into battle and other jet. That would have been cool.
That would have been better. Yeah.
But the thing is, Skywalkers kind of have a bit of a problematic history with Padawans and younglings.
Oh yeah, exactly. They actually dealt with this in the episode where it's Ahsoka talking to Anakin, because she's like, because Anakin goes, I've taught you everything Obi-Wan taught me, and Obi-Wan was taught his master. You're part of a legacy, Ahsoka. And she's like, I'm not sure I'm liking this legacy because of Darth Vader-ness. I wish my one complaint with that scene is that I wish she had actually called him out, like explicitly saying, you turn to the dark side.
Yeah.
Yet she knew at this point. But anyway, so is that it?
Yeah. Also, I do want to say, like, I do like the line from Mando from Book of Boba Fett when Mando is visiting the Jedi Academy. When Ahsoka says to Luke, so strong, just like your father, and then like the look that like Luke gives her, like, what the,
Yeah, I like all of her references to Anakin Skywalker. That was great. I love that. That's what makes it interesting. Some students are pre-corrupted by Thrawn. Ooh,
wait, Thrawn? Thrawn's not a Jedi. Thrawn's not a Force user.
That's true. What happened to Luke's students, because we didn't get to see any of them?
Kyle killed all of them.
I thought like some of them became the Knights of Ren, which is, by the way, another idea that they teased and they like didn't do anything with.
Yeah, that was just a pointless point. Like, seriously, why have like, oh, he's the leader of the Knights of Ren, and like we only really see him like once, and he kills them all.
By Orange Peel clarified, he meant to put just corrupted, and not by Thrawn. That was auto type, which that would be cool. But and that's the other thing. The other character that they set up not once but twice, Captain Phasma.
Like they really wanted another boat. Like, here's how hilarious it is. Captain Phasma was obviously intended to be a Boba Fett character. But you want to know the one they latched onto? Traitor!
Yeah, I know. A random stormtrooper that has like a minute of screen time.
But you want to know what? Boba Fett was a random character that had like a minute of screen time that people just seem to love. So like, literally,
where's his Disney Plus show? That would be hilarious if now he becomes this badass now that Boba Fett's kind of like gone.
So on more positive angles, I do like some of the cameos, like like the Force persuasion scene, like you remove the cuffs.
Yeah, I know. I know that's James Bond.
Do you know that Stormtrooper's designation is JB 707?
That's great. By the way, so speaking of cameos, you have to read like the guidebook in order to know this. When they're in Maz Kanata's cantina, you know that dude that's like all in red that has that really elaborate helmet?
Mm-hmm.
That's a clone trooper.
Did you know that Carrie Fisher's dog makes a cameo in that scene?
Oh, really? That's great. I love that.
Oh, also, I believe the young blonde girl, like the side, like she's actually Carrie Fisher's daughter.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. But yeah, that was fun, but it was, I think it was one of the named ones, but what had happened is that during the Clone Wars, he got like captured by the droids, put in cryo, and then he cryoed through the entire Empire. He wakes
Actually,
up and he goes, "We're the Jedi." Oh,
yeah. Also, did you hear about like the proposed retcon? So you know in Return of the Jedi, where you have like that one rebel with like the big beard. Supposedly that's
Rex. That's Rex. That is Rex.
That is a retcon I'm okay with, because yeah, he looks like he could be an old clone.
Well, plus when they brought in the Rex character design for Rebels, that looks like that Rebel trooper. I'm like, all right, fine, you might as well.
Yeah,
you might as well. By the way, I will say there's one show that we brought up that I can't believe we didn't bring up as one of the good things that Disney did. I liked Andor.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say it. They made a really dope spy show about Endor. It's really good. But
my God, Orange Peel, please highlight his comment.
She named her dog Gary Fish. Nice. Of course.
I have a feeling she named it after Gary Cooper, which she was a family friend of hers.
Now, all right. So Teladia, we've heard from Nick, and he had the most preparation of all of us.
Yeah, you know what happens when you give me prep time.
Yeah, you're like Batman. But Teladia, how would you fix Star Wars where it is now? In other words, if we were appointed now, how do we put it in a hashtag new direction? That's for you, Jay Heat.
What do you mean? Like,
if we were brought in by Disney and said you have to fix Star Wars,
I would latch on from the Ahsoka series, right? And continue on from there. That's what I would do, right? Because you could still tell stories from after Return of the Jedi leading up to the Force Awakens, right? I would do a couple of movies in between, and then obviously I would not do The Last Jedi. That's something I would not do. I would, I would just, you know what I mean? Like I would not,
Interesting.
I would not do The Last Jedi at all. Instead, I would do a different Star Wars film, and this time it would be about obviously I would like to see like a prequel type of thing in between how Luke got himself distant, like went away, from everybody.
So you mean essentially an easier transition from 6 to 7? Yeah, I could definitely see that, because that's a pretty key detail to leave to like extended lore.
Because that's what my episode 7 would be. My episode 7 would be from 6 to 7. Then episode 7 would be The Force Awakens, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then episode 9 would be Luke basically teaching Rey the Force, making her understand it, and making her, understand that, feel the Force, all that stuff, right? But the thing is, I would not make Rey a Palpatine. I would make Rey a Kenobi.
Kenobi! And by the way, I would, and then also what would happen is that at one point when he's training her, a green ring shows up in front of Luke and says, "Luke Skywalker, you have the ability to overcome great fear."
Oh my God.
I mean,
I had to.
Jared.
I mean, yeah, I would make Luke a coward, right? This would be continuously like continuation from George Lucas's six arc film, right? And it'd be the same Luke, right?
Wait. I gotta play out this joke. So if Luke becomes a Green Lantern, that means he can create a lightsaber with his ring. So basically, let's see if his Swartz is just let's see how he uses his Swartz.
It's not the size that matters; it's how you use it, Nick. You
No,
do that.
because they had a ring that created lightsaber.
Yeah, no,
gear.
I know, because it was a lightsaber ring. Me personally, what I would do if I were brought in now,
But
if they,
I still
I'm
have
sorry, yeah, go ahead.
So after that, I would obviously make what's it called? Obi-Wan Kenobi her father, or not father, grandfather, so to say, right?
Mhm.
I would bring in, Ewan McGregor to do some voiceover work, but you don't get to see his face because of
Hmm.
the fact of Sir Alec Guinness passing away, and obviously because he was the last guy. Basically, he's the guy that
Mhm.
gone ahead, right? Um, I would, you would get to see hear his voice, and he's helping Rey alongside Luke to wield the Force, understand the Force, and furthermore helping her to try and help Luke to bring back Kylo Ren from the dark side, like how Obi-Wan tried to bring back
That
um
works. I like that.
bring back Anakin, and it was basically it was the son to save the father, right? So it'd be different this time around. You'd be the Padawan that's bringing and the uncle that saves, you know.
But
the
my
son.
allegiance is to the Republic, to democracy.
I know it sounds similar to the first 6 episodes, but it would pay off so much of a homage to that.
Sorry, I was
Yeah.
holding that one in for too long. I was waiting.
Well, what I would do if they brought me in and said, Jared, right now, fix Star Wars. First thing I would do is find a way to decanonize the sequel trilogy. Throw it all out. Say we're never referencing again. Change the Galaxy's Edge to be original trilogy stuff. We're done. Because I'm sorry, this contradicts too much Star Wars. It doesn't work. You can make that. I would label that Legends. That becomes the new.
By the way,
Legends
you want to
canon.
know an easy way?
I'm
to
not done,
redeem
Nick. I'm not done yet. So what I would do next is immediately commission a Knights of the Old Republic film, adapting the games, adapting what we would do, because I get that there are many different story paths that you could do. What I would do is tell someone, play the game. Yes, you actually have to play the game. Come up with a compelling set of choices, and we're going to keep the Revan becoming a Jedi at the end storyline. Do that. That starts the new story, the new thing. Not yet, Nick. That starts the new what's the word? That starts my new trilogy, because my new trilogy is Knights of the Old Republic, and then eventually it's going to lead to they use the World Between Worlds to wipe to prune the sequel trilogy out of existence, and Mando season 3 never happened. But go on, Nick.
Your idea is good, but I have two conditions.
What?
Revan needs to be played by Keanu Reeves.
Well, yeah, that's obvious.
And Bastila needs to be played
Jennifer Hale.
I was gonna say Jennifer Love Hewitt, but okay.
It has to be Jennifer Hale. Just do the voice. She has a very iconic voice. I'm sure she could do it. If not, here's what I would do. All right. Revan's played by Henry Cavill, and Bastla's played by Gal Gadot. Super Wonder in Star Wars.
Oh, imagine how crazy would it be if Jennifer Hale's cameo in the KOTOR game is she's the voice of the ship.
Yeah, actually, that works. And Tavia, we don't need Mando season 3 for Grogu. We don't, because he doesn't really play that much of a role. And Nick said this when we were reviewing episode 3. You could take out most of Grogu's scenes.
You gave me crap for that. You pushed back against that so much
because I wanted to wait and see if they paid it off at the end. They kind of didn't.
Jared, I think I've earned this. Frick you, I was right. Frick you, I was right. Frick you, I was right.
Well, I was waiting until I saw what the actual story is. I don't like to critique story decisions until I see the full story.
But
that's my rule.
I called it.
Yeah, you did. And yeah, there you go. You don't. Grogu plays zero role in 3.
He's not even a plot device like he was in the first season.
And then
the first 2 seasons, actually, he was here's the thing: Grogu is not a character in the show. He was a plot device in season 1 and 2, and he barely exists in season 3.
And he's a prop. And by the way, Ben Affleck plays Karth. He's Karth.
No, I think he should be Candor Thordo.
That's better. He plays Candor. No.
Matt Damon is Karth. Matt Damon.
Nick, stop. This is my universe.
Matt Damon.
Nick, this is my universe. Ben Affleck is Karth. Joe Manganiello is Candrius. Deathstroke is Candrius. And then there would be a Zack Snyder cameo somewhere in there. Oh, he would play one of the council members on the Jedi Council on Dantooine. Because there's one that I could put as Zack Snyder. No, but Tevia, it doesn't matter if he would like to be in Star Wars. This is my universe where I get him to where he wants to be in Star Wars.
All right,
like an alternate reality.
All right, I want to see more of your KOTOR casting. Who plays Mission?
That's actually a good idea. That's actually a good point. Mission, I would say, would be played by. You know what? Screw it. Huntress from Birds of Prey, the movie.
You only said that because she plays Hera in Ahsoka.
She was good. She was good. I could see her playing that. And let me see who would play. I would honestly just use the same voice actor for HK-47.
Meatbag.
Statement. Hello, master.
Oh, wait. No. Alan Tudyk plays.
Okay, you know what? That's a better option right there. I could see that. I could see that.
Okay, who plays Malik? Who plays Malik?
What were you gonna say, Teladia?
If you were able to bring Mace Windu back into the fold, would you bring
Jolie.
Ray Fisher? Would you bring Ray Fisher as a prequel type of thing before?
No, I wouldn't, because Ray I'm saving for someone very special. But anyway,
Sam
for Jolie,
Jackson is Jolie.
Sam Jackson is Jolie. If I wanted to bring Samuel Jackson, if I want to bring Mace Windu back, that would be a full-on Disney Plus show, seeing him from episode 3 to Mando or whatever.
I mean, honestly, I'm surprised they haven't like Sam Jackson said he doesn't think his character died, but like.
Yeah, and all he did was he got electrocuted and his arm chopped off. Jedis have survived far worse.
Yeah, like honestly, I think having Mace Windu show up in like the Mando timeline would be kind of cool.
Yeah, actually, I think that would be really dope. I would love that. And in terms of, that's like about as much of the Old Republic that I have cast, because I think. I mean,
you didn't cast Malik.
You know, screw it, Ray Porter. I honestly, I could see him doing that. His dark side is pretty close to Malik.
Yeah, but he's not an actor.
I'm saying use him for the voice. For the body, I don't care who you use. That's what I'm using. It's my universe, Nick. That's my decision. I'm doing that.
I reject your reality and substitute my.
Well, it's my reality, Nick. So there you go.
I reject it.
In terms of 2, I would have. You know who I'd have play Kreia? Wonder Woman's mom.
She's too young.
Oh yeah, that's true. Helen Mirren.
I could possibly see that. Like, for me, it's kind of like a Gloris Leachman type, because it's just.
Well, you're the dude that wanted Betty White to play Granny Goodness.
I mean, it's a good casting.
She would. No, she's too sweet.
But that's the whole point of Granny Goodness.
No, it's not. No, Granny Goodness
is she's sickly sweet, but she'll murder people.
No, Granny Goodness is significantly more in the murdering thing. I've read those comics.
But the thing is, Granny, like, here's the thing about Betty White. She can say the most dirty, like, vile, violent things totally straight, and it's just great.
No, but I can't see Betty White being Granny Goodness in terms of, like, hostility and stuff. I can't see her.
Jared, you need to watch Lake Placid. You
showed me a clip from that, and I'm like, nah, I can't see that. I can't see that. Even Orange Peel is laughing at you, Nick. So there you go. In terms of Knights of the Old Republic 2, in terms of Kreia, yeah, I'll just go with Helen Mirren, because you know what? I'll go with that as a placeholder.
Who plays the Exile? The Exile is canonically female, by the way.
I can't have Gal Gadot because that would be what everyone's expecting. I'm not gonna do Amber Heard for obvious reasons.
I mean, if you want the character to shit the bed, so
Stop.
Amelia Clark.
Hmm?
Amelia Clark.
That's actually not a bad idea right there. Wow, that's an excellent idea. And you know what? I don't have to cast Mandalore. Joe Manganiello returns because it's the same character. That blew my mind when I found that out. But in terms of Atten, screw it. I'm gonna race band Ray Fisher as Atten. I could see that.
Well, are you talking about the Zabrak?
No. I'm talking about the guy you meet on the space station at the very beginning of the game.
Oh, the car stand-in.
The car stand. But actually, you know what? I could see him more as the Zabrak, actually.
Yeah, well, because Ray, actually Ray Fisher is the one who would want to play the Zabrak guy, because the guy has kind of this ASMR kind of type voice. Plus, it's makeup, so literally anybody could play it. But I think Ray Fisher would actually be good for the Zabrak mechanic guy.
He's got the arms, so he's already played a cyborg. There you go. And yeah, so those are essentially what I would cast for Knights of the Old Republic. And the other thing I would do, I would say we're making a we're making a Republic Commando animated series like Clone Wars. Actually, with those characters, this is going to be the sequel to Republic Commando. The story is going to be they're going back to Kashyyyk to find Sev.
I have a question for you, Jared. Who should play a live-action Cal Katarn?
Chris Pratt. That's a joke, Nick. That's a joke, Nick. I love that.
I officially resigned from comics.
Momoa.
No.
All right. Who would you cast as Katarn?
Timothy Chalamet.
He's a little young.
Well, the thing is, I want someone who's more of an actiony, elite. Well, yeah, since Chalamet's too young, we need someone who's kind of in their 30s or at least.
Timothy Oliphant is already a character. You can't recast him, even though that would be a better casting for him.
Actually, what's the guy who played Gambit in X-Men? He's on Yellowstone.
Channing Tatum?
Channing Tatum? What the? Dude!
You said Gambit! Oh, no, he was gonna play Gambit. Oh, you mean Joel...
Tyler Sheridan.
Wait. You mean Gambit animator or Gambit in X-Men Origins Wolverine?
X-Men Origins.
Because that is not Tyler Sheridan. His name is Taylor Kirch.
Yes, Taylor Kirch. Because he's also
I could see him as Kyle Katarn. That I could see.
Because Taylor Kirch is also on Yellowstone. So yeah, that's who I had it. Yeah.
Okay, good. As this when you started saying Sorrel I was like, who the hell is that?
Yeah. So him as Kyle Katarn. That's my pick.
Okay, that works. A live action Darth Maul. Nope, too many characters. I'm not. I have to be very selective on who I put in here. I can't put everyone in there.
Well, let's have
for
let's
right
have
now.
Some fun. Let's pretend we're casting for Star Wars, the extended universe, like big characters.
Keanu Reeves.
Who should play Darth Talon?
I don't know who Darth Talon is, so I can't exactly go. Because remember, I haven't read a lot of the books, Nick. I know what she looks like. It's just I don't know a lot about her character in order to.
I don't either. I just doing it for fun. All right, what about Darth Bane? Because
easy. I got an easy one for you, Tom Hardy. He already played a Bane.
Actually,
Teladia gets it.
That's not my pick.
You're no fun.
The guy who played Ivan Drago.
Actually, I could see that. You mean Rourke or something like that? I think I remember the actor's name.
I'm looking up the name.
You mean Whiplash and Iron Man?
No. It's not.
Oh, you mean Dolph Lundgren?
Yes,
Okay, yeah. I could definitely see that.
because he's actually surprisingly a good actor. So
Yeah, he's solid. I'll give you that. He's
Because the
good.
thing about Bane is he's a big guy. He is a big guy.
Yeah, you gotta have someone that like really like. Yeah.
Now, as
Who would you
for-
cast Henry Cavill as? Let's cast the DCEU actors in Star Wars. Go. And no role is off the table, so I can put Henry as Revan because I think he would do a great job, and
No.
Gal as Bastila.
Keanu Reeves.
No, but all right, fine. That could be your pick. My pick for Revan is Henry Cavill.
That's fine. You can be wrong.
But Teladia, who would you cast Henry Cavill as in Star Wars? Go.
I would actually put him as I would put him as a new Jedi. And
A new character?
yeah.
Okay, that's fair. I could see how.
I got my Gal Gadot casting. Gal is Mara Jade.
Okay, that I could see. That I could totally see. And that means that, well, that would also mean I would make this a mandate. Whoever her romantic interest in has to be played by Henry Cavill.
So you're saying
Luke
that
Skywalker is played by Henry Cavill. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, Super Wonder has to be a thing in any universe that Gal Gadot's in.
Oh my god.
Wait, that means that Rachel Stone could technically get into a relationship with Henry Cavill from The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Yeah, Jared.
Look at Nick's face. I told you, multiverse, man.
No,
Hey.
Rachel Stone is gonna get into a relationship with the antagonist from Mission Impossible Fallout.
Yeah, that's exactly. She's like, I love the mustache. And she's
No,
like,
he's like,
oh yeah, he
yeah.
reloads. But wait, what? That's when he shows up for a date. He's like, shh. And then wait. He shows up. He's got the mustache. He goes, "You look like someone I used to know in an old life." Oh no!
But also you do realize the fact that we have headcanoned Heart of Stone into Fast and Furious.
No, into Mission Impossible. Oh
No,
yeah,
no.
no.
Yeah, we
So that
did, we
means
did.
technically, Mission Impossible is in the Fast and the Furious universe in our version of it. Oh my gosh, this is great.
Yeah, because like we actually like because remember we did like that fan theory because like it actually like the timeline lines up really well.
It
Actually.
works. It actually works. We are smart dudes. Wow.
Well, that's what you get for watching Snyder movies long enough.
Warner Bros. Hire us. We will fix your universe.
Well, Teladia will anyway. He's the smartest of us.
Of course, I'm the smartest.
It's
I'm a
the
genius.
beard length. It's the beard length.
Teladia, I just gotta say, your beard puts all the rest of us.
It
to
is
shame.
glorious,
Seriously.
my friend. It is glorious.
Oh, you haven't seen that? How bad it is? How bad?
Can you highlight Orange Peel's comment?
Which one?
Shameless plug for peer rep
Baby
attention.
hands. Baby hands is
Oh yeah, perp. I keep forgetting that's how he does it. Anyway, love you, perp. But anyway, so I think that's a good place to leave this episode because we've been going for about an hour, 18 minutes. This was a great episode. I had a lot of fun. And the point is, we love Star Wars. And you notice what we tried to do, what I felt was pretty interesting because this was not prompted by me at all. We tried to keep as much of the characters and everything as possible from the sequel trilogy. So in other words, we weren't like throw out the characters and everything like that. We're more like throw out the story that they were in. So just wanted to put that in there. So
Sorry.
with that, all right. So now, Nick, where can we find you and what have you got coming out?
All right, everybody. So tomorrow we're doing the Friday Night Frenzy. We're talking about the positive aspects of Christmas. You'll be joining us with it, and then on Saturday we're doing Batman going into the Joker's lair, and then on Monday you can catch Avatar rewatch.
Teladia, where can we find you and what have you got coming out on your channel?
So you guys can follow me on Twitter at Teladia Plays _ and you guys know we've just finished the Spider-Man stream. I might do a stream on Tuesday. I've got a collab coming up with what's his name, Pika Sage. I've got to organize that up, and then Wednesday is the run, the one, the only New 52 Justice League coverage.
Otherwise known as the
Zack Snyder's Justice League.
yeah, it's pretty much that. But anyway, so in terms of Comics League, tomorrow, as a matter of fact, at 10 p.m. Eastern, I may go a little earlier on that. It just depends. But the point is, tomorrow night we're gonna be doing Comics League Dark, which is gonna be twofold. Number one, we're going to be covering the last DC AMU movie, which was Justice League Dark Apocalypse War. Then we're going to be doing a Phoenix Press appreciation stream. And we're going to be talking about all the different news topics that have come out over the past week. So it'll be a nice.
And we may or may not cast characters in Torrent Samurai and Streetcher.
Okay, that works. And,
that may or may not happen. No promises.
And then for Super Wonder Legacy, Britt and I are talking about all the different Super Wonder merch that has come out, and I'll be showing off toys. And in terms of, by the way, check out my current Indie Wednesday, which is about Daniel Warren Johnson's first issue of Transformers, which is dope. And in terms of movie night, we're going to be talking about Zack Snyder's Legend of the Guardians, the Owls of Ga'Hoole. So I like pronouncing Ga'Hoole that way. It sounds more official. So
Ga'Hoole.
On that note, everyone, stay heroic.
Wait.
May
the force be with you all.
Yes, and the force will be with you always.
Wonderman.